I watched this cartoon series when I was real little, and I really liked it because of all the random stuff that happened. But there's a real theory that goes around on the internet about Ed and Eddy. It's about that during they're not actually alive, but they're actually dead. They're not in heaven nor hell, but they are in purgatory. Purgatory is this place for average people. That go like they're not good nor evil, but they're in the middle. So they have to prove themselves that they are good enough in order to go to heaven. I mean by Irish, I mean Catholic people. I'm not Catholic. I'm in a different kind of religion, club, organization. You know, you get to drift. I won't be precise with one myself, but y'all get the point. Anyways, the theory for Ed and Eddy it puts the possibility on whether or not the kids that inhabited the cul-de-sac are actually dead. And that the cul-de-sac in which they reside and actually takes place in a purgatory-like setting. This theory points to facts such as the children's green/blue tongues. The tongue does in fact turn a bluer shade when you die. The lack of adults, the endless summer, well, in the earlier season. In season 5 and 6, they actually go to school, well, like junior high, so they're like 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds, in a small isolated cul-de-sac that comprises almost the whole world. Well, yeah, most of the suburbs are like that. There's lots of cul-de-sacs, and every now and then there's a big-ass tree that's in the middle. According to the theory, the children of the cul-de-sac actually come from different time periods ranging from the early 1900s to the late 2000s. This theory also explains why the year for the show is very hard to pinpoint, and also explains the answer as to why there aren't any adults in the show. Maybe because they're probably working, even though you do usually catch a glimpse of one every now and then. According to the theory, Wolf came first in the 1900s. His family moved to Peach Creek in order to establish a farm on his land. Rolf died in 1903, and when his family's farm's animals stampeded and troubled him. This was the supposed reason as to why he only has one cow, one goat, a few pigs, and a few chickens. There's like not enough animals to cause a fatal stampede, but you guys get the point. Which is why he has these farm animals in the afterlife. Now, Johnny 2x4 came next into the cul-de-sac not too long after Rolf's death. He had no friends, so at the time he took a marker and drew a face on a piece of wood and named it Plain. He died in 1922 after fighting a long battle with tuberculosis. He took his friend Plain with him in the afterlife because Plain was the only thing he saw in life before he died. Damn, that's kind of sad, but a lot of people had that disease in the 20s, but along with polio. So yeah, Eddy came next. He was born in New York, but eventually moved to Peach Creek during the Great Depression area. Always trying to get a quick buck, he always set up scams to get money from the cul-de-sac kids. After one of his scams went awry, Eddy was chased by the swindled children in the cul-de-sac, and he ran to a lake and jumped into it to run from the kids. But this man cannot swim. He ends up drowning in that lake, and he soon joined the other deceased children in the afterlife. Even though he's no longer alive, Eddy still tried to chase after an almighty dollar by continuing his swindling nature in the afterlife. Ed and Sarah were the next to arrive to the cul-de-sac. Their father had died fighting in World War II, and as a result, their mother became distant and disconnected. To try and compensate, Sarah developed her bossy attitude, trying to fill the role the mother and father used to fill before the father died and their mother stopped caring. Ed, however, shut the world out and delved into the fantasy worlds of comic books and monster movies in order to escape his unhappy life. They both died in a freak car accident in 1953, thus joining the past kids in death. Now, Naz was born into the 1960 era towards hippie parents. She was like a flower child, and she was like a flirtatious young girl who always acted that way toward the male children of the neighborhood. In the summer of 1979, apparently there was this serial killer who escaped from a local asylum, and he made his way into her house and raped and murdered her along with her entire family. Because this event was so traumatizing, Nan's like Ed shut the world out when she entered into Purgatory. This also explains why she's not shown working around the house like the other children often would. Ed, or Double D, some people will call him. He was born in the 1980s, a time period, which is around the time that technology is advancing, and was raised by very strict and controlling parents who pushed him to succeed academically and to be perfectly clean and neat. He's believed to have either died as a result of a gas leak causing an explosion with the Bunsen burner from his chemistry set. Kevin was born the day Double D died. He was born into a broken down house. He also had an abusive father. Because of his situation at home, Kevin would act his frustration out on other children in Cul-De-Sac, becoming a bully as a result to cope with his pain. One night in the winter of 1999, his father fatally beat him in a fit of drunken rage, and he died while he was on his way to the hospital. His father was then convicted of his murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison. When Kevin entered into the afterlife, he reimagined his life as his father's loving, and that he would shower him in gifts. He still kept his bullying ways in the afterlife, however. Jimmy was the last child to enter into Cul-De-Sac. He was born in 2000, and he was diagnosed with leukemia. He was never associated himself with the other Cul-De-Sac kids because his parents believed he was too frail to be around the other kids. He remained bedridden for the remainder of his life because of this fact. After fighting a long and brutal battle with his disease, Jimmy eventually succumbed to his illness, and soon the Cul-De-Sac Purgatory was complete. Damn, that was sad. The Cankers were different from the other neighborhood children, and it's believed they are actually demons that were sent to the Cul-De-Sac to torment the souls of the remaining children who didn't cross over to heaven. The Cankers are the only characters with normal colored tongues. Well, probably because those Cankers lived in a trailer park. And then, like I said, the Cul-De-Sac is like a suburb. And the reason why most of the children had different tongues because they're always chewing on something. Ugh. They're always chewing on something, some type of candy or gum, or drinking something like a sports drink. For the Cankers, they live in a trailer park, and trailer parks are not. They don't have like a lot of. They are low income, and maybe broke. So they can't be spending money constantly. And this is like a side question, but who builds trailer parks near Cul-De-Sac, near the suburbs? That's what will end up driving down the value of those houses in general. Not to sound extra bogus, but and at my hometown, which is where I live right now, there's a mobile home trailer park that's way the hell off town. So anyways, about the Cankers, they have normal colored tongues, which seem to indicate that they're not dead, and therefore there must be something different. Surprisingly, the Cankers are attracted to the edge for unknown reasons. However, one common guess is that they are the weakest will to the Cul-De-Sac, all because each symbolize a certain daily sin. Now, for the record, the creator debunked this whole theory because it was a little honky.